Alright guys, how you doing? Alright, this is Mr. Campbell, maiden voyage on this thing. So you see here, map Africa, isn't it pretty? Nothing really worth talking about there. We're doing the scramble for Africa, chapter 11.1. Awesome, good, I'm glad I hit the space bar and it worked. So here we go. And now we go. Alright, so setting the stage extension question. Think about what you need to have an industrialized country. Alright, what are some of the things you need? This would be a good point. Go down here, press pause, think about it. Thinking. Good. No, seriously think. Stop pretending. Alright, here we go. What is imperialism? Basically, imperialism is being a big bully. The seizure take over a country, territory by a stronger country. Basically, this unit is one giant HIB violation. When a big country goes to a weaker, smaller, lesser country and says, I own you, what up with that? Tough, take it. Good, alright? So that's imperialism. Here's some cheat codes. Think God, glory, gold. They're going to claim they're doing it for God. But really, they're doing a little bit for glory. Remember, our last unit was nationalism. Woohoo, my country's number one. How do you prove it? By having the most crap. How do you have the most crap? You go over and take over countries. And what do you want to do? You want to get gold. You want to get money. You want to get the loot. Think about the exploration unit we did a little while back. Countries went around, looked around the world, and they said, ooh, there's a lot of stuff out there. Well, how many times have you been on vacation and said, you know what? I really like it. I want to stay here. And on some level, that's what's happening. All right? So here we go. Think of the entire country, whatever country we're talking about, especially Britain, as a giant factory. What do you need going in? You need raw materials going in. And what do you want to be coming out? The finished product. The problem is, England, Britain, little island, not a ton of stuff on it. So they've got to bring in raw materials. That goes in the factory, we make toilet paper. Well, once you've got that warehouse full, see right down there's a warehouse. Once it's full of toilet paper, you got to sell it. So what's going to go out finished product? You need new markets. So what we're going to see in this imperialism unit is either we're taking over places, or England's taking over places over here to get raw materials, or they're taking over the places to have new markets, places to sell stuff. Hope that makes sense. All right. Why do Europeans do it now? Because they've gone through the Industrial Revolution. They're industrial countries, and again, like I just said here, they need natural resources and they need new markets. It's a good land. Most of these lands are going to be perfect for either establishing trading or military posts. Because again, military lets you say my country's number one. If you go there and they have good natural resources, you can turn that into stuff and then make people buy the stuff that you made. Europeans want to control all aspects of their colonies. They want to control politics. They want to control society, economy, culture, and custom. That's what's going to get them in trouble. People really hate being told what to do. Think about how much you hate when I jokingly told you what people should wear to school, what people should wear to prom. You guys got all mad. Well, imagine an entire country, a bunch of outsiders come in and say, no, you people are living the wrong way. We're going to teach you the right way to live. So here we go. America before. This is the before picture you're seeing right here, right there, before. All right, Africa was largely undeveloped, had hundreds of ethnic groups and thousands of language. Notice down here you see all of these language, all of these ethnic groups. Every single group in here thinks they should have their own country. Keep that in mind later on when you see what the map gets divided into. Africa before Europe, large African armies as well as dangerous rivers and terrains. Basically, the steamboat allows for travel, and Europeans start dominating the trade in the area. Africa is well on its way to falling under imperialism, and we talked about what that is. So basically, the steamboat and what happened last unit with South America all revolting and getting their own countries. Basically, Europe's going to start looking for somewhere else to take over. The next natural step is Africa. What you need to know here is the first area that really piques people's interest is the Congo Basin. And that's right here. Look pretty nice. And after discovering a missing missionary, David Livingstone, Henry Staley, continued to explore the Congo River. So it's almost a happy accident. All right. King Leopold of Belgium. Remember Belgium. In fact, if you notice here, you see here that it's called the Belgian control of the Congo. All right. Belgium claimed the land to abolish slavery and help the people, but by allowing business to operate there. The companies exploited, which means took advantage of the Africans by forcing them to collect rubber, King Leo II, during his time, over 10 million Africans die from abuse. Some of the abuse includes cutting off your limbs. So you'd be told as an African, we as Belgian are here, you've got to get this much sap. If you didn't get the sap, we'd cut off your arm. This is really sick, but seeing how it worked for Belgium, the British, the Germans, the Italians, the Portugals, the Spain, all like, ooh, I want some of that. On some level, think of Africa as the pretty girl. And all of these big bullies are going to fight over the pretty girl. It's like a bad 80s sitcom. What advantages do the Europeans have? First of all, they have economic interest. Industrial countries need new markets, raw materials. New markets, raw materials. New markets, raw materials. And again, there's going to be this competition. This is basically nationalism. Countries in Europe competed to be the most powerful in Europe. And by adding more land, you make more money. More money means you can buy more guns. You're better. More money, more power, more respect. And there's also a racist piece here. Many of the European conquerors believed that they were better. This idea relates to an idea called social Darwinism. Remember, Darwin said, whatever animal survives, it's because it's the biggest, the strongest. Well, people take that idea of Darwinism and apply it to society. Whatever countries are the most developed, the quote-unquote best, they deserve to prosper. The weak and the poor deserve not to. On some level, the other piece here is religion. We went to Africa. We went to all these other places. Oh my gosh, these poor little people aren't Christian. We're going to teach them Christian. So there's this idea of missionaries going there, and if we go there, we can teach them how to pray the right way because they don't know. Also, thing that's going to help is, remember, industrialization literally means making things machines. One of the things that they made machines into were guns. And now we can kill very quickly, and you see here that during the Industrial Revolution, medicine that allowed for the defeat of malaria spreads, and boom, shalak, boom. Next thing you know, Africa and many of these places are easier to take over. So Belgium first, B1, France comes in second. Belgium, France. They come into South Africa, and they see all this gold and diamonds, and they're like, oh, we like it, we want more and more and more. And they keep taking over. And this leads to the Berlin conflict. So basically, Belgium's first, France is second. They start realizing, holy crap, everybody in Europe is going to want this land. So they say, let's have this Berlin conference. But here's the thing, notice. No African leaders were invited. This would be like me and your parents having a meeting about the rest of your life. So the Europeans get together, and they divide Africa based upon the good stuff. The copper, the tin, the gold, the diamond, the peanuts, the palm, the cocoa, the rubber. Look at that list. You got everything you need to make a Reese's Pieces and propose to somebody. And I don't know what you can do with the copper and tin. So basically you see that Europe says, okay, let's divide Africa. You can have some, I can have some. Why are they allowed to do it? Again, you get racism, social Darwinism. You get these advantages going in. I like this cartoon. You see somebody who clearly looks like our boy Otto von Bismarck dividing it up. Again, no African ruler invited to the Berlin Conference. And basically, they don't think about, who wants to be with who. They're like, where's the diamonds? You get some of the diamonds, I get some of the diamonds. That's a pretty good political cartoon of it. I like this picture a lot. You notice all of these countries pulling in various different directions. You see here Belgium, you see Holland, you see Great Britain, you see Germany. Notice nowhere on this picture is a symbol of anybody advocating for the people actually of Africa. And here's how they were divided. If you want to rewind and look at the map that we looked at the beginning, clearly there's no respect paid to all of the different groups that were shoved into these little areas. Notice you see the Belgian Congo, French West Africa, all right, Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. Anglo meaning British, Italian Somaliland, British Somaliland. Notice on some level the areas that are better get divided up smaller. The areas that are for instance here the Belgian have the right. German West Africa. So again, I don't care what you want, we're going to break it up. Again, this would be me and your parents deciding that your hair is really messy, let's just shave it off. Okay, so 3 groups are going to clash over South Africa. What are the 3 groups? The native Zulu tribe had been beaten by Britain with only spears and leather shears, but could not succeed. Had nearly beat. The British also clashed with the Dutch, who had a settlement in the southern tip of South Africa. The conflict actually led to a war called the Boer War. Boer is Dutch for farmer. So what you see here in South Africa is there's 3 people. The Zulus are like, it's ours. The British are like ours. The Dutch says it's ours. And the Boer War and other conflicts and patterns of setting up colonies set up a pattern of Europeans changing the political, social, and economic lives of the people that they had conquered. So they basically walk in and be like, ooh, this is a nice living room. We're going to change the way you live. So builds up a ton of resentment between them and the Africans. How do you think they're going to decide to rule them? And that's really going to be the next issue we discuss. Please take time, rewind, replay, and digest this. Thank you very much for watching version 1 of 11.1.